Seriously, really, I'm Steve here from the Varied Life. Presidential assassination attempts, and how sick do you have to be to murder somebody? This is insane. Now we're going to go over and look at the video. This was an assassination attempt on Trump, and so let's go ahead and we'll play
Government
this.
services comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then
This is Trump at a rally in
and
Pennsylvania.
then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 shots. Somebody's pointing off to the left on the other side, towards his right, our left.
Hold. Are you ready? On you. Ready. Move. Move. Go.
They're checking in. Something's happening on the right-hand side. You see a guy with a camera.
At a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where former President Trump was speaking on the stage.
So
There
camera guy
has
was
been
looking
some
out
kind
that
of
way.
disturbance that clearly sets law enforcement and Secret Service into motion, immediately jumping around the former president in a protective mode. The crowd has been
See
screaming. They
what
are
happens
standing
here.
by.
So there he is.
You can hear some voices there saying, "Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go?" We are looking at President Trump. This does not look good.
This is
I'm going to be
insane.
honest with you. From what we can see right here, it looks like they are
Oh,
attempting to move him out, that he may
look
have
at
been
him.
injured.
Oh,
He
he
is
did
holding
get
up
hit.
his arm.
See some
He is
blood on
pumping
his
his
ear.
fist, but
So it
clearly
must have grazed
Secret
him.
Service wants to get
Damn,
him out
holding
of
his
this
fist up in the
situation.
air. Damn, that is insane. Wow. That is absolutely crazy. I woke up this morning and a buddy of mine, he sent me, he says, hey, Trump, they tried to assassinate Trump in Pennsylvania. So I checked it out, and that is insane. You know, I'm an independent. I used to be Republican. At one time, I was kind of Democratic. Of course, I was in the military, but mostly conservative. Let's just put it that way. You know, I believe as an independent for the best ideas, regardless of where they come, as long as they make sense and they're good for the overall country. So that can include ideas from the left side of the house or the right side or the middle. It doesn't really matter. As long as it makes sense, it's fiscally smart, and it's good for our nation, you know, for life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. But it just amazes me that we're in a country of free speech, and obviously somebody has a disagreement with him and his views to go to the point of where, you know, going to try to assassinate this guy and fire. It's interesting because when you look at the footage, we automatically see, let's see if we can go back to that. Oh, it's not there. Where is it? Let me get, there we go. Dun, dun, dun. And what I want to do is take a look and kind of dissect this.
That arrow is the lowest. And look what happened to our country.
So off on his
Probably 20
right-hand
million
side,
people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
okay, first shot. So it's off to that side, on his right side, our left side. So it wasn't shooting from somebody straight into towards the front. You see people pointing over to that side, his right side. Again, people are looking.
Hold. Are you ready? On you. Ready.
when you look at the crowd, you can end up seeing. You can end up seeing. You can see some people pointing. Yeah, the cameraman on the right-hand
Okay,
side, the guy with a video camera or phone, he's panning. That'll be interesting to see. Other people with their phones looking around. There's going to be a ton of footage on this.
And Secret Service into motion.
But people are
Immediately
looking.
jumping around the former president in a protective mode.
That is insane.
The crowd has been screaming.
People
They
are pointing
standing
off
by.
to his right
You
side,
can hear some
left of the
voices there
screen.
saying, "Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go?" We are looking at President Trump. This does not look good. I'm going to be honest with you. From what we can see right here, it looks like they are attempting to
throws
move
his
him
fist
out
in
that
the
he
air.
may have been injured.
So it looks like he ended up getting grazed.
He is holding up his arm.
That is
He is
insane.
pumping his fist, but clearly Secret Service wants to get him out of this situation.
Wow, that is absolutely crazy. That's going to be interesting to go over that footage.
Hey everybody, I'm back with Heidi. So you've been getting a lot
seriously.
of questions about
Stop! Good Lord. My computer's going nuts. So anyway, yeah, that's absolutely insane. And again, like I'm saying, I don't really care if you're left, if you're right, if you're conservative, if you believe that the moon is made of cheese. You could have totally different religious beliefs. You could have totally different moral beliefs as, you know, sexual orientation, what you do behind closed doors. That's absolutely fine. But don't force that onto other people. Same thing with religion. Don't force it onto people. I believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, as long as you don't infringe upon the rights of other people. You know, obey the laws of the land and things like that. But for somebody, obviously, to have such a horrible disposition that they obviously planned, this is premeditated, because now when you're talking about this, you're talking about somebody had to buy a gun or had a gun, had to buy ammunition, had to load the gun, had to transport the gun on their person to this event in Pennsylvania. And then they had to, with the intention, obviously, of doing such a task. So this is definitely premeditated murder or an attempted murder. And then there's some other reports that I was just reading talking about how somebody, the shooter is dead. What was some other things that came up? Yeah. Let's see if we can get some news here within within the past hour. He was bloodied on. Apparent gunfire was heard at a rally in Pennsylvania. That's the most recent one. Let's see if we see anything new. Right hand toward his neck, blood on his face. Issued a statement saying that he was fine. Pumping his fist in the air. Dude, that's boss action there. I don't care if you're right, left, or in the middle. If you get shot and then you're pumping your fist in the air, that's insane. Let's see. Former president thanks law enforcement and first responders for their quick action during this heinous act. He is finally being checked out at a local medical facility. Secret Service says Trump is safe and investigation is ongoing. Political violence along the lines that may have happened in Pennsylvania is abhorrent. That is absolutely true. And here what we end up seeing, let's take a look at this. Trump shooter, audience member dead as bloodied Trump tells supporters fight after suspected assassination attempt. Shots were fired. Shooter is dead. Audience member was killed. Oh man, that's messed up. Continue to fight. Shooter dead. A person believed to be the shooter is dead, as well as an audience member in attendance. The two fatalities. One other person is believed to be in critical condition. So, Biden grateful Trump is safe. President Biden said he is grateful that Trump is safe following a shooting at his rival's rally in Pennsylvania. I've been briefed on the shooting, and I'm grateful to hear he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family. Jill and I are great. Secret Service, there's no place for this type of violence in America. Yeah. This is very interesting because if we get to a place of where our morals and our standards, where we let people do such things and there not be consequences, we will see more of this. But I think this comes down to where people are, there's such blurred lines, and between keyboard warriors and rhetoric and physical acts like this of violence, those lines are blurred, and they're not like they were like 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, to where, yeah, you could disagree with somebody, you could, all of that stuff, that's absolutely fine. But be mature and civil in this, and the fact that somebody took it to the level of premeditated murder, or at least attempted murder, is absolutely insane. And the fact, it will be really interesting to find out the person who did the shooting. And of course, this will be interesting in the fact that how is our U.S. media going to handle this? Because the majority of our media is from the left, and there's some good media and there's bad media. But how are they going to handle this? And this brings into question, the Second Amendment. It also brings into question even more the First Amendment of the freedom of speech. If we no longer have the freedom of speech and we're allowing people to do things like this, and people are not taught life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and are no longer taught the Constitution, they're no longer taught about how to respect life and other people amidst a diverse nation that we have, this could get even worse over time. But yeah, this is insane. A previous president, I think the only other president was Reagan, was shot when he was president, and there was one, I think, U.S. president. Assassinations in history. So Abraham Lincoln, yeah, Garfield was the one, McKinley and John F. Kennedy. So that is absolutely insane. But all of these people they're acting presidents, and to have somebody, get to the point. What do we see? Ranging Andrew Jackson to experience an assassination attempt, who tried to shoot him at the Capitol, left a funeral in the House of Chambers. 4 sitting presidents have been killed: Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, Kennedy. And 3 presidents have been injured, in former President Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan, knew that by Hinckley, and now Donald Trump. This just happened a little while ago, and Wikipedia already has Donald Trump on here. I wonder if there's a thing that shows when this was updated, like a list of edits. If George Wallace states, because it's got to be towards the end. Presidents of the United States, show, failed. This page was last edited on 13 July 2024 at 23:48 UTC. This is interesting. So how quickly this page was updated amazes me. That's I don't know if somebody can check into that and do the math, but that is just absolutely insane. That Wikipedia has already Wikipedia has already got, page has already been updated on that. That is absolutely insane. And like I said, if you go to the place, obviously this person is mentally deranged, which I don't think should go in their favor in regards to, the person's dead, obviously, but if they were alive, I don't think that should qualify you as being immune from prosecution. Just my personal opinion. Even if you're mentally deficient in some way, shape, or form, mentally ill, you shouldn't get a pass when you end somebody's life, because again, the Constitution says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We have those rights of speech and grievances, and the Second Amendment and all that stuff. But people are not taught responsibility, maturity, and civility anymore, and that's the problem. I think we're seeing the result more and more of people who are no longer taught as children the Constitution, their rights, how to be a responsible, mature, and civil adult. I remember in school there used to be debate teams and learning how to debate. And even though you have two very opposing views, to be able to debate and then at the end of the day say, hey, I understand you hold this belief, it's different than mine, maybe 180-degree difference from mine, but I still respect you as a person. I think we've lost that in our country. And for anybody to, and I would say the same thing for Biden, I would say the same thing for Obama, Reagan, Carter. I mean, it just, Clinton, any of these people, it doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right. In my opinion, you should not have an assassination attempt against you. Somebody should not try to murder you because they have a different belief system, ideology, thinking, whether they're left, right, in the middle, or way, way out in left field. That is just shouldn't be an option on the table. So good job on law enforcement for taking care of that, or whoever took care of the shooter and ended that. But it'll be interesting to see the shooter and what he was, the background, the information that all of that. It'll be really interesting to see more videos come up and to see if we can actually get better footage to find out maybe somebody scanning the crowd and actually had video of the shooter. This is going to be very interesting. So, I still believe in the Second Amendment. I think it's just that we have unhinged people, and if we weren't allowed to have guns, then law enforcement or other people wouldn't be able to respond to such a heinous act to begin with, and even more people could have died. So, absolutely insane. Nobody deserves that. It just is what it is. So anyway, do you find it odd that Wikipedia was just so quickly updated? I mean, that just seems like, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy, but I'm just, the first thought that goes through my mind is, assassination attempt. Let me get online and edit the Wikipedia page on assassination attempts on presidents. That's like the last thing from my mind. I don't know. How about you? Put that in the comment section, and we'll see what's going on. Totally insane on that. Let's see if we've got different footage. No, it's pretty much. Let's see if we can get this down here a little bit.
We've also got some news that agents from the Firearms and Explosives unit en route to assist at the Trump rally in Pennsylvania. But one of the things I just want to labour on, I want to pull this image up again if we can. This right now that you're seeing on your screens, I would suggest would be one of the more historic photos you are going to remember. This is potentially the moments after what we have seen live on air, an assassination attempt on the former president of the United States. And bearing in mind, Eddie, what we have seen previously when Trump has asked for a call to arms of sorts,
And that
what do you think the response is going to be? That is seriously iconic in terms of American history.
Well, that is the photo you'll see printed on newspapers right around the world tomorrow. Of course, the press follow him around as the lead up, as they head to Milwaukee for this convention. They would have been gathered at the bottom of that stage, so they've taken this perspective up onto the stage with the American of this event and play for our viewers who might just be tuning in that moment. So to paint this up, to paint the picture for you, they're at a rally in Butler, the Butler Farm Show, so an agricultural show. This is about an hour outside of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, which is a key battleground state in the upcoming US election to come in November.
And the audio is important here, Eddie. If our viewers watch this, of course you see what happens and you see Donald Trump fall, but if you pay particular attention to the timing, you can see Donald Trump clutch his neck or ear and then listen to the shots that follow. We're going to play this now.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
So 8 to 10 shots, maybe.
So first the pops that ring out across that crowd, and then down, 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 down from the Secret Service who rushed that stage. When we're looking at this timeline, Matt, and you observed it earlier, that he clutches his left ear at the same time those alleged shots ring out. So we thought initially perhaps he was injured as the Secret Service rushed the stage, but it seems like the timing of that, he was injured and then they rushed the stage. The crowd behind him staying in place and filming what's going on here.
And there's a number of shots following, but we do want to couch this very carefully as we look again at what's sure to emerge as one of the most iconic images we're going to be used. We can only...
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. It'll be interesting because they said one other person was in critical, one person was shot, and the shooter was obviously shot and killed. So we have a number of shots, maybe 8 to 10 shots. You know, I can put it in the video editor and actually look at the audio and find out how many. But in my opinion, on first glance of this, is that there was a group of shots, and then there was a pause, and there were some other shots. So that's maybe somebody was returning fire, and that was it. So total of 10 shots, maybe 8 to 10 shots. We'll see what happens, but some of those obviously included somebody who stopped the shooter from continuing to shoot. Yeah, interesting. It'll be really interesting to go over and look at this information and go over some more videos that show the crowd and see if we can actually narrow down, what area of the crowd. They panned to the left a little bit, or Trump's right, and into the crowd. So we'll have to pause that and see if we can actually do this on YouTube and get a good pause frame on that. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, Sunday morning here in Korea, absolutely insane on what's going on in the United States. And I wanted to make a video on it. I don't care if you're left, right, or in between. You get to a place of where you want to murder somebody and you carry that out, or you attempt to carry that out, that is absolutely wrong. And that's just me being a mature, responsible adult as an independent. Absolutely insane. This will be, I think this will jettison Trump's campaign in the United States. And if people weren't for Trump already and they see this and they were kind of like, yeah, he's got some good policies, I don't like him, his tweets and orange hair, bad man thing, but I think this will polarize a lot of people to start following Trump. And this is just going to solidify his run even more. So yeah, absolutely insane. So anyway, I just want to make a quick video on this, and just I'm glad he's okay. Like I said, if it was Biden or Obama or anybody else, Republican or Democrat or any other political belief or religion, you shouldn't have to go through this. This is absolutely insane. So there's that. Put what you think in the comment section down below, and we'll see you on the next video.